Good day. How is everyone this fine Sunday? Hello, CJ. Hello, Denise. Hello, Maria and CW and Greg and Mike and family and everybody else joining who I forgot. So in the background, you might hear our rooster. And this is a crow collar. In case anyone wanted to know what's a crow collar, in case you have close neighbors who are annoyed by the crowing, this can be used as such. That's your little tidbit of information on agriculture for the day. Today, we're going to talk about a few things, and I'm going to grab my little sheet that I made up this morning and my graphic explanation of the stages of the sun that we're in, which I think are kind of related to the miracle of the sun at Fatima. So, and I'll explain why. Before I get into that, I just wanted to, a couple of notes here that is not being read in the news, or at least in like major phone news things. Maybe there might be some instances of it, but Bulgaria, the country of Bulgaria, has told its citizens to leave Lebanon, and there are also citizens who are leaving Israel as well, as we speak, yesterday and today. And we also, as many of you probably already know, there's Russian military in Cuba. And for the last year or so, we've had Chinese and other young males in crossing our border in the United States with a lot of the mass migration. And there's increasing signs of the EMCO now, which is what we're going to talk about. And the EMCO, EMPCOE, stands for electromagnetic plasma changeover event. And those are weather. It's kind of evidenced by weather. We're getting more instances of areas of hot and areas of cold. And I'm going to explain how that's coming about. So I did this little graphic. Hopefully it will be visible and understandable. Okay, so, the words are backwards. All right, I'm going to read them anyway, but the pictures aren't. Okay, so let's give you an image here. Okay, well, you can see the Trinitarian Theophany. So the words say at the top, my conception of the sun's operation 100 years ago, roughly. I mean, in the past is what I'm getting at. Okay, so here we have, let me see if I can do this way. Okay, we have the Trinitarian Theophany, okay, creator of all. Here we have the light that emanates from them, which in the scientific terms, it's plasma. Forget the brick wall behind it. This is what I just had to steal off the internet. I didn't steal. I copy and pasted images. Okay. So that plasma spiral tube, okay, comes down and then it hits the top of the dome of our earth, what we understand, okay? So that is an image of a glass bowl that I found, and that is the sky, if you will, okay? So we're down here living on this flat surface here, okay? The sun is here at the end of that plasma tube, okay? As that plasma tube goes through this concave dome, all that light is focused into what we call the focal point, which is the sun. Okay? That sun moves around our sky as the plasma tube turns. Okay, so that spins, as you can see in the plasma tube of light. So that gives us our light, and you can see we have yellow rays of sun coming down and warming the area that it touches as it moves around. Okay, so that's what our world, has been like for quite some time. That changes regularly. Okay, because this is like pulsing, this plasma ray of light. And why does it pulse? Well, it depends on the state of the people who are inhabited below it. Okay, and what I mean by state, I mean their moral state, their volume of love, how much virtue they possess and emanate. And when that's at a higher level, then things operate correctly. Okay, the plasma tube of light turns gently and it goes around and pulses. Okay, so the pulsing, which I will put this back up here, the pulsing creates the seasons, so that the pulsing will go kind of like up and down and move out and in. Okay, so as that pulsing occurs, we get our seasons, and this is very slow. It's not something like monkeys jumping on a bed. It's very slow. Okay, and it creates that seasonal change so that the sun actually moves further out, okay, into the southern hemisphere. Now, as far as the poles go, this is the North Pole, and all the way around is the South Pole. So it's not one point, it's the magnetic pole consists of the entire base around there. Okay, and then you have electrons that go up and flow in, and I'm not going to get into that yet. Okay, I didn't want to get too confused. Now, however, that was years ago. Now, what's happening is because our souls, as a people, are deteriorating they're becoming more sinful. It causes a tightness in the light. So the tight tube starts to tighten. The sun then has a shorter path to move, and the sun ends up moving more north, and the actual focal point is, unfortunately, I couldn't find a whiter sun at this point, but this sun is more white now than it used to be 100 years ago. It used to be more yellow, and old people like myself and those older than me will remember when the sun was more yellow and now it's more white. You could go out in the sun and stay longer in it without burning. Now you go out for short times, almost any season, and you'll get burnt. And that's because of the white light coming down from it's more focused and it's hotter. Okay, and that's why we're getting now hot and cold spots around the world. Okay, we're getting more intense solar heat as it goes around, which, if you understand how the weather works, when you have heat in a spot and cool outside, the hot goes up and the cool comes in. So the hotter it is, the faster the air moves and the more storms and hurricanes and whatnot we have. And the PTB have mimicked that solar light with their rays and things that they do with electrical power and such. So the point that I wanted to make with this is just to, it's like, what has this got to do with the Trinitarian Theophany and our Catholic faith? It has a lot, because anything to do with truth has to do with the Trinitarian Theophany. We need to know the truth so that we can make sure that we're not sold a bill of lies and abused accordingly. And so that we can also understand, more importantly, how our sinfulness affects everything around us, okay, including the operation of the world, okay? That this really gets into free will on how, okay, well, we actually will determine the frequency and the severity of these EMPCOs. So we've had a pretty decent long stretch now for a while, but there are lesser ones that do occur every few hundred years. They hide this in our history, but there's signs everywhere. So we want to maintain as much of a virtuous state and a Catholic state as we can, so that we can maintain peace and prosperity and happiness, okay, without with all this chaos going on. There's, everybody's uptight and everything. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions, I think, depending on time, always, I'm going to get I'll do another video, maybe separate from Mass, that will get into this a little bit more in depth, into the electromagnetic part of it, how the positive and negative ions move in that system, and how that creates quote unquote gravity, which it's not gravity, it's electromagnetics, etc., etc. So the Fatima miracle of the sun, to me, was a precursor to what we're going to experience, since we didn't follow her directions completely, and not enough in a grand scale. So to be prepared, and again, what I'll do is, when this, I'll explain in another video, when this gets to the point where we're so tight with this that it changes everything, and I'll explain how that goes in the next video and what to look for. It has to do with blue, a blue beam. Now, if anybody can think of a project like that, let me know. All right, let's have our morning prayers. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. And one of the things I brought up is, why did I bring up all this stuff, all the news? Well, they're trying to get everybody into position for these events that are coming, so that they can control them, so that they can recreate their own outcome, and to limit those who are knowing, because anybody who knows what's going on is a threat to them. So we have to share this knowledge in confidence, and make sure we have our Catholic state ahead and ready. In nomine Dei, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany, and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the Divine Family. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, one divine family, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O Trinitarian Theophany, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Matronam Nostrae. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank the Trinitarian Theophany for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the divine family. O Trinitarian Theophany, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O Trinitarian Theophany, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O Trinitarian Theophany, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Trinitarian Theophany, O Deum Matronam Nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Another reason why we're coming closer to this tightening of the plasma tube is that mankind is again manipulating with creation to the point where it's damaging, and part of with sending up massive amounts of electronic signals and waves and stuff into the atmosphere, it affects everything. It affects all kinds of animals and sun and growing and peace, because frequencies affect us. So, that can only last for so long before it needs to be corrected. You don't let an unruly child go for too long. You give them a chance, and and when they blow it, time to rein them in. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei, oremus. O Trinitarian Theophany, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one Trinitarian Theophany, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hoc immaculatum hostiam, quam ego indignus famulus tuus offedi tibi Deum meum vevum et verum, pro inimitabibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentiis meis, et promnibus circumstantibus seret promnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis ut mihi et idis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dignitatem mirabilitu condidisi et mirabilis reformasti, da nobis peruius atquae et vini mysterium eius divinitatis esse consortes qui humanitatis nostrae fieri dignatis est pateceps, Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem, salutaris tuum deprecantis clementiam, ut in conspecto divinae majestatis tuae pro nostra a totius mundi salute, cum adore suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rate Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum conspectuto hodie, ut placiat tibi Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificit oblata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini praeparatum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas hoc oblationem quam tibi efferimus a memoriam passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae, et a Papa Peter Sanctorum, et Istorum, et omnium Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem ad salutem, et ili pro nobis intercedere dignentur in caelis, quorum memoriam agimus in tedis, per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam ac vestrum ac sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipiat Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium Dei manibus tuis ad laudam et gloriam nominis sui ad utilitatem, quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei, sursum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te igitur clementissimi Mater Pater, Deum Matram Nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum Nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus. Uti accepta habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium irribata. In primis quae tibi offerimus, pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam catholicam, quam pacificare custodire ad honore et regere digneris toto ibiterarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie, Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Mark Jr., Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Casey, Anne Boltink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Cahill family, the Dasco, Nye, Tafour, Began, and Wolf families, Alex Tafour. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child ritual abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous Catholic men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We ask that all quote-unquote gay marriage be banned, for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity. We ask that all pornography in the OnlyFans platform be stopped immediately and forever. And we ask for the increase in the understanding that raising traditional Catholic families is the way to a peaceful and prosperous society. We pray to shut down CERN, close all gateways and portals, and all harmful radiation waves, and all nefarious electronic projects. We ask Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and recognize the transfer of the authority of the Catholic Church to Portugal. We ask you to release the souls under the controls of the demons Lilith and Asmodeus, and under any Jew or Freemason that gives support to Israel, and have them, those souls, find us. We also ask you to block the passage of any so-called pandemic treaty by the WHO, which, as we know, is based on lies and deceptions. All these things we ask in accordance with the Trinitarian Theophany's holy and divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fidis cognita est et nota devotio pro quibus tibi afferimus, vel qui tibi front hoc sacrificim laudis pro quisque omnibus, pro redemptione animam suarum, pro spe salutis et calamitatis suae, tibi qui redunt vota sua aeterno Deum vivu et vero, communicantes et memoriam venerantes in primis gloriosae semper Dei matronam nostrae, et de Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium torum papae sancti Petri et sancti Lucia et sancti Jacinta et sancti Francisco et sancti Juan Diego et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meditis precibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae muniamur auxilio per innum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblationem de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratum acceptabilem quae feceri dignitis ut nobis corpum et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam paturetur recepit abanum in sancta sacra venerabilis manus suas, et derivatis oculis in caelum ac ad te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit frege didique luminis sui dicens accipite et mandacate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonias accipiens et hunc praeclarum caricem in sancta sacra venerabilis manus suas et intipit gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecravit didique luminis sui dicens accipite et vivite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Haec quotescumque feceritis in me mono pacietis. unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed et plebs tua sancta iustem Christum filium tuum, Deum nostrae, tam beatae passiones nec non et ab infedis resurrectionis, sed et in caelos gloriosae ascensionis affedimus praeclare maestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio ac sereno vutur respicieri digneris. Supplices. Te rogamus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iubi haec per Philippi manus tuum ut quod ex hoc autaris participatione sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinum subsenimus, omni sanctificatione caelesti et gratia repa amor per innum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Seal Saletka, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibum in Christum quiscentibum locum refugiere illu qui se pacis ut odora Geas deprecamur per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem haec omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas. Sanctificas, vivicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotente in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Sanctum tuum in mulieribus Dea matronam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quaesimus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dea matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in diebus nostris, ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et aboni, omni perturbatione securi. Periendum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Haec extua consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat excipientibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, qua brande Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem tuam unum vivicasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinum tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me tue semper in harare mandatis, et ate numquam separare permittas, qui cum eo Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indi nius sumere presumo, non mihi proveniat in judicium et condemnationem. Sed pro tui pietate prosit mihi ad tutum mentis corporis, et adame delam percipiendam, qui vivis et reinas cum Deum matronam nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem calessim et cipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sum dignus, ut intercedete meum, sentanto rigoris in patronum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sum dignus, ut intercedete meum, sentanto de querbo et sina patronum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sum dignus, ut intercedete meum, sentanto de querbo et sina patronum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodia et anima meam. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis mei salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodia et anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodia et animam tuum. Cordore sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum pidem et capimus et immunum et temperae fiat nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sumpsi et sanguis quam patebat herbus visceribus meis, et praesta ut in me non remeniat scerellum macula quem pura et sancta refecerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque pote. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O Trinitarian Theophany, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque pote, ite mis est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium corporis tuae majestatis igninus autoritibus et sit acceptabile mihique et omnibus pro quibus irut optili, sit te miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O my Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifferences by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. I forgot to mention one of my big supporters, Peter. Thank you very much. And hello, Travelog. Do you know what cult means, the definition of cult? Yes, we are a cult, but we are not of the occult. Oh boy, this has been a fun Sunday, hasn't it? Okay. Good day, Rio. Where are you from? That's awesome. I hope everybody is well, and I hope you have a great day today. Please go and sanctify all those who meet, and we'll see you tomorrow.